One of the most commonly asked questions from resellers is, do you need an accountant to be a reseller? I'm going to answer that in today's video. Before we answer that question, let's get into some sales. Only one over on Vinted today, but it's a nice one. We have sold the Nintendo 3DS. It's a really nice one. Nice colour, Cosmos Black or something. It comes with a nice case and a charger. I picked this up originally for £20 on the basis of how the seller wanted to sell it. They were selling it on what CEX would give them. But I actually made a mistake when we were searching, we both did, and looked at the wrong console. It was the lower down. I'm not big into my Nintendos. I don't know what, the 3DSs and the handhelds. I don't really know about them all. But on the edit I realised I'd paid him too little. But I saw him again the next week and I gave him another tenner on top. This has sold for £84. I don't know, £84 a weird number. I don't know why I would have accepted £84. That's weird. 84, is that right? I thought I counted at £80. That number says 84 and that one says 80. £80 I sold it for. £50 profit on top from Vinted, no fees. Obviously there is going to be tax, which we'll go over shortly. And that's all for Vinted. I don't mind it when it's just one like that and it's a nice one. Nori actually sent me an email with this question. All of my links to my eBay, my Vinted, my email address, my Instagram, my whatever else is on there, Amazon store, everything is linked in the descriptions down below in all of my videos. That is where you can find them. That is where you can contact me. So as I mentioned, Nori reached out and asked this one. I won't go into the full message, but the crux of it was, do you need an accountant to be a reseller? And the answer is no. You don't need one. But only if you can do the job yourself. I can't. I need one. And I know a lot of you will say it's very simple. Everybody's needs are different. Mine, I can't deal with the whole calculation, the bookkeeping, keeping receipts, figures in, figures out, transferring to, I can't do it. I can't. It's too much for me, for my brain, the way my brain works. Might be good for you, you can manage it, that's fine. But as a legal requirement, you don't need to have an accountant. As long as your accounts get done. Do you see what I'm saying? If you're an accountant, do you need to go and have an accountant as a legal requirement? No. Wouldn't make sense, would it? You can already do the job. So if you can do the job, it's fine. Personally, I use Boffix accountants, run through QuickBooks, so I have the two together. Fantastic. I've had them now for nearly 5 years, I would say, going on. I've never had an issue, never had a problem, always very helpful. They just make my life so much easier. An accountant is something that I need. And if you need one too, there is a link in the description down below. It's not a plug for the video, it's always been there. If you look in my videos for the past 5 years, I've had Boffix account in there forever with a discount code RICKYHUEL for you to get 50% off of your first month. So the answer is no, you don't need an accountant. But it is better if you can't do the job yourself. It's like asking a mechanic if he needs to have a mechanic. No, because he can do the job himself. As long as he can get the job done, doesn't matter. This is not financial advice, it's just what I do. Everything is pure opinion. And I'm certainly not an expert, that's for sure. eBay. Gosh, almost knocked the place down. Paid £7, sold it for £29.99. This is a boiler jacket. It keeps your boiler warm in the cold nights. No, it's insulation. It keeps the boiler from, well, I'm guessing it saves you money. I'd guess. Everything that's insulation is to save you money these days, isn't it? Eileen Fisher Organic Cotton Shirt. Really good little brand to look out for, this one. I had to pay up from the charity shop, £7, but only because I knew it wouldn't last too long and it would be a nice little double up, if not a little bit extra. On this occasion, it sold for £17.93. Eileen Fisher, add that to your bank. It's not like Gucci or whatever them big brands are, but it's just a nice clean seller. Think of it like Reese. No, a bit better than Reese to be fair these days. £7 all in. Sean has picked this one up. Sean, really appreciate it, mate. Thank you for your purchase. You said it was your first one. This cost me 50p. 50p, I can't believe it when he said that, but still, I only sold for £7, free postage. So I had it listed for £9.99 free postage, and of course I accepted the offer. I picked up 3 racing suits, if you remember. I sold one a little while ago for £29.99. That was the best one as well. Well, the second best one. And it sold on an auction really cheap. I ended this one and sold similar on this one, and it has sold for £77.26. This is a Mazda Sparco racing outfit overall thing. Racing suit. I paid £10 each and brought a pair of boots from them as well. So I spent 30 quid, but the boots I sold them for 70. and I had to refund them. The customer sent me a picture with them absolutely crumpled on the bottom. That was my mistake. With shoes and stuff, especially older ones, you've got to check the condition of them. Like, don't need to give it a full-on bend test. Like, don't turn it into a banana, because that just wrecks the shoe regardless. But you can give it a little look and push down and see if the bottoms crumble. They did. There was a pair of like Altbergs or something like that. No, it wasn't Altbergs. They were just British Army military black boots. And yeah, the soles, I missed it. They were crumpled. £70 refund. But I've now recouped 100 with that plus the other one. I've recouped £100, and I've still got what I think is going to be a very special. I'll show you. We've still got this Mazda one left, and if you remember, I did a bit of research and found the guy wearing it. I don't know if it's the same guy or not, but you put your name there. Open Race 2010. Just a nice one. I think that's going to be probably the best seller. But I need to do a bit of research on that one. So yeah, 77.26 on that. Oh. These were 50p each or £1 each, so they're either £1.50 or £3. I can't remember. I do remember buying one and saying I bought Stitch and Angel, and I said I've got to buy the other one, so I did. But they've sold for £14.94. I was going to give them to Ada, not interested. £12.93. We have sold another cassette tape, Faithless, and I do believe that is all of the cassettes that I had listed sold. So now I've got to start working my way through the rest of them now. But £12.93 on that one. Picked up 3 of these Baofeng walkie-talkies. Couldn't think what they were then. From the car boot sale. It wanted £2 each. I bought all 3 for £5. This one is sold for £12.50. We've got 2 left. Good little brand. A lot of airsoft and paintball when they use coordinations and stuff, and they want to make little teams and tactical units. They use a lot of Baofeng. Oh my god, I'm glad these have sold. Winter proof, like for your motorcycle. So when you're on your bike doing your delivery or whatever you're doing legally, they keep your hands warm. So I picked up those for £3, I think. Thought they'd sell for a lot more than what they did. £11.50, and they've sat around for ages. Bane of my life, them things. Moving them from box to box. This was picked up for about 20p from one of you guys at the car boot sale. He said it wasn't pairing and something. I don't know what the issue was for you, but all I did was I registered it to myself, went into the settings, reset the whole thing, and then deregistered it. It's absolutely fine. So I really appreciate the pickup. I thank you for the bargain. Sold for £17.89. Lovely. A 3.6-inch screen like that Ventura DVD player. It was £10 in the charity shop, reduced down to £5. I'll buy it at a £5. I'm not buying it at 10 to make 3 or 4 quid, but at a £5 I'll buy it. Sold for £18.56. So after fees, etc., probably going to make a tenner. And an absolutely cracking sale, no pun intended, regarding eggs and chickens, but we have sold the Pudding Chick Jellycat. Andy's picked this one up over at Bargain Bucket UK. Yeah, Bargain Bucket UK. Finger looking good. Sorry, mate. My mummy's a chicken drumstick. Oh. He's picked this one up for his niece. Thanks, Ricky. You're a legend. Keep the content coming. Most of my family are loving it. Who's the ones that aren't? This is for Shannon, and she will be over the moon. Thanks again, Andy. I had this listed for £125, and it is totally worth that. But he asked me if I'd take an offer. I told him what I would take, jokingly, like my lowest point, and he said, all right, and sent me the offer. Because I thought he was joking. They sent me an offer at first saying, will you take 70 quid? I said, nah, but I will take £85. And I would. You have to remember, it was worth £125, but I paid £1 for it. Andy's offered me, Andy actually sent me an offer of 87.65 plus the post. £91 and 14 pence we have sold this for. Could I hold out for another 30 odd quid? Yeah. Maybe 40 quid to be fair. Could I have held out for that? Absolutely. Did I buy it last weekend and I've now sold it this week for £91 and 15 pence? Yes, I have. I took the profit. Andy feels like he's got a bargain. He can add it to his niece's collection for less. And if he wants to sell it in the future, he's going to make some profit. Everyone's a winner. The car boot seller got their pound that they wanted. I got my £85 that I wanted. And Andy's got the item that he wanted for 20, 30, 40 quid cheaper than the current market value. Thanks, Andy, I appreciate it, mate. That ties in nicely to my last video regarding stop being attached to your pricing. No need. So I have put a poll out over on Instagram today for some questions for you to ask me, and I will answer them in this kind of video style format. I'm not an expert, I don't claim to be a guru, I'm not going to sell you a course, I'm just going to give you my personal experience, how I do things. And that's the only way that I can answer. I can't tell you what I don't know. So if I don't know, I won't come to it, or I'll just tell you that I'm afraid I don't know the answer, or I don't feel in a position to give you that advice. So regarding the tax section, I can only tell you what I do, and that is I use Boffix and QuickBooks integrated. Boffix are my accountant, QuickBooks are my bookkeeper. It's my bookkeeping app. That is what I do. Link is in the description down below. 50% off using my code, and you get access to the accountants. Most of you might know Aaron, the QuickBooks chap. Lovely, a lovely bloke, and the staff there as well. Jack, there's too many to mention. I'm not going to start mentioning everyone, to be fair. They are all lovely. They're willing to help. The way that they deal with me is fantastic, because I am a nightmare hard work. I know I am. Sometimes they have to ask me the same thing 4 times before I realise what they're trying to tell me. But then we go back and forward, and we get there in the end. And I love that about them. Most companies would just be like, I've asked you once. If you can't give me the answer, that's on you. Strike or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So legally, no, you do not need an accountant as long as you can do it yourself and you're willing to do them. And you know how to do them without getting in trouble. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in a bit. So what did come first? You or the egg? The one that's smoking! Idiot. That was all me, weren't it?